And yeah, I was totally obsessed. 6 or 7, I guess, was my first memory of seeing an otter. I became what I call an otterholic at that point, and I've been an otterholic ever since. And I'm still learning, and there's still so much to learn. It's it's great. It's exciting. I love it. We had children, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, and everything changed. The doctor said there was nothing that could be done. I grew up here on the south of Mull. It was heaven for me, I was just living the dream, playing around in rock pools, watching otters, totally free. I would disappear all day long. My mum wouldn't know where I was. She'd be worried sick. And yeah, it was great. Very lucky move for me to come and live here. Fascination with the otters, I think maybe it came from the passion that I saw in my grandparents. My grandparents were really keen bird watchers, and they used to take me out bird watching. And when they came here to Mull when I was a kid, and they would spot otters from their little cottage where we lived, maybe their enthusiasm with spotting an otter, having been from Manchester where there was no otters at the time, they were super excited about seeing otters. And so seeing their excitement, I think, just a bit contagious. My first really clear encounter was when me and my family were going to pick winkles, and we spotted this head in the water, but we all thought it was a seal at first. Seals were very common. It was much more rare to see an otter. But then the seal was coming very close to the water's edge, and it kept coming, and then it came out of the water and ran up the beach towards us. It was a huge dog otter, and it just ran right up the beach and right off the shore, came running right past us within about 10 meters, and ran up and went up, disappeared off into the hills. And it was a very clear memory, my first real clear memory of an otter. My mum and dad broke up when I was about 14, and we lived in several different places on the island while my mum was working here or there. So we were just jumping around the island quite a bit. And I used to cycle off on my bike and go around the coast and watch otters. I was about 14, and after some time my mum met somebody else. He was a really nice guy, done a lot of travelling in his life. He was a keen photographer as well, and he gave me his old camera, and that's when it took off for me. I was obsessed then. I was just obsessed with trying to get photos of these otters. When I was a teenager, I used to have to go and board in Oban, and so from the moment I got back at the weekend, I was out watching my otters. If the weather was good, I was out watching otters, photographing otters, taking notes about timing them, their dive times, and recording what they were eating, and recording where all the halts were, and yeah, I was totally obsessed. I became what I call an otterholic at that point, and I've been an otterholic ever since. I was just all about it. When I was 17, actually, I was specially commended in the Young BBC Wildlife Photographer of the Year competition for a photograph of an otter. So difficult to get good photographs back then when I had the crappy camera gear. These three hold fond memories for me. It brings me great joy to think that the otters we're watching today are the great grandchildren of this otter, or these two otters. You know, they're just all related to these otters that used to be my best friends when I was a teenager. And then I started going on my travels. I became obsessed with exploring the world, and I wanted to go off and see all the different countries and wonderful wildlife. Wow. So many memories. The Taj Mahal in the sunset, reflected into the river. Python. It was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 meters long. It was a massive snake. I was getting closer and closer to it, trying to just get this headshot of it. And then the thing lunged at me. It almost hit my camera. I was so scared, backpedaling, trying to get away from this massive python that just attacked me. The closest I've come to dying in nature is not with leopards and tigers and wolves and bears. It's with elephants and bison. They can be very nasty because they've got to be defensive. I've always had that adventurous kind of spirit within me as well. My second stepfather had a big part to play in that, because he used to tell me adventures he'd been on, travelling around the world. When I was about 23 or so, we went and mountain biked around India, and I was totally hooked then. I just loved India. I had close encounters with tigers and leopards and elephants. It was just magic. India's just the most amazing place. I'm so looking forward to going back. So I travelled pretty much every year for something like 15 years. Every winter I would take off and go to some different part of the world. Ended up in Colombia, and the Colombian army went into my tent at gunpoint, and when I protested, they were like pointed the gun at me. They were like, and took all my camera kit. And I also decided, I made a kind of conscious decision to keep traveling without a camera. I thought that was maybe becoming too much about the photograph and not about the memories. And so for the next 25 years, I didn't have a camera really. And then I met my wife, and everything changed. We had children, 1, 2, 3, 4 kids. Suddenly traveling becomes a little bit more difficult and an awful lot more expensive. And so we traveled a lot less. Although we did still go on some great adventures. We went with Oliver, our first child, and trekked around in Nepal up to Tibet. Our second child, Hazel, she was conceived in Nepal. And then we've done a few trips since then. We travelled around India, and we went to Bali and made a reality TV show for Channel 4 actually in Bali, where we built a treehouse in the jungle. That was fun, and we kind of lived in that for a while. It was only just recently that I got a camera and just rekindled this passion for wildlife photography that I had as a child. It was since the death of our daughter died 2 years ago, and a lot of friends all over the place and a lot of local people were crowdfunding to help our daughter, and sadly she died. We were hoping obviously to save her, although the doctor said there was nothing that could be done. we were looking around for alternative therapies and everything, and so that was very expensive. We ended up buying a couple of different machines that we were advised to buy, and all sorts of different medicines and stuff, alternative healing things, and it was very expensive. So friends and local people crowdfunded and gathered a good amount of money together, and the money that after Hazel died, we had a little bit of money left over, and I said to my family that I really wanted to get a camera. I just started my Mull Man business, the wildlife touring business, and I thought that a camera would be the very best thing that would do my business good, and sure enough, it's paid off tenfold. So the little bit of money we had left over, I got this new camera, and it's been amazing, not just for my business, but for my for my grieving, for my healing. It's been incredible because it's rekindled this passion that I had as a child for wildlife photography.
Let's go, Hazel, together!
Hey, Oliver. There's Oliver, our oldest, 9 years old. Hazel, 4.5 years old. Mommy going to rescue
That's Blue!
Heather Blue, who's off on an adventure. What can we find in amongst all this stuff?
And Daddy.
And Daddy. Ciao. Yeah, let's find some crabs. Okay, they're off, look! They are climbing the mountain. Oh, Hazel needs help. Help your climbing partner, Oliver. Bravo. Together. They help each other to the summit. Hazel slips again. But they made it. Incredible. Bravissimo.
We did it!
Made it to the summit. Perfect.
Pa, 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 pa,
Good. The best way to eat limpet is raw.
These are limpets. You can eat them. They're a bit chewy.
Our daughter died tragically of a brain tumour 2 years ago, and I got this camera after that, shortly after that, and I just rekindled my passion for wildlife photography, and it's been incredible. It's been a lifesaver for me, just immersing myself back into nature, doing these tours now with my business, Mull Man, and yeah, it's been brilliant. It's incredibly healing, and I know a lot of people that say that about nature. It's just very, very healing to be out in nature, very calming for me. I don't need to sit there and try and clear my mind. I just need to sit there and watch the otters, or sit there and watch the hen harriers sky dancing. It's just a magical thing for me. I tried many times to meditate. I was never good at meditating. I always saw friends, my wife and stuff meditate. Couldn't meditate, but nature has always been my meditation. Going out into nature and just being there, quiet, nice and peaceful, it's just always been very healing for me. It just helps me through tough times.
Oh no! Oh no! Fine. It's fine. Don't worry. Stop putting it on his head. Seriously, though. Seriously. Stop. Okay, this.
Alive after that. Cool.
Oh, yeah.
With Ramona. With a
So slimy. It's cold. I feel it's cold.
I had a student that came up from Falmouth University. He was doing a thing on otters on Mull for his dissertation or whatever it is you call it. He partly helped me rekindle because I saw his passion and he was mad about otters. Going out with him every day for maybe a month or so also helped me rekindle my passion for otters again. And having the camera was amazing for me because when I was a kid I used to go out watching the otters and I used to see the otters and I would assume that otter was the same otters that I saw in the same place yesterday. But most of the time it was an assumption. Getting this new camera was the most amazing thing for me because then I started getting close-up photographs and I started to identify the otters by little white or cream-coloured markings on their lips and on their throats and other things like teeth. Some otters have got particular dentition, so when they're chewing on the fish you can see the dentition, so you can see, oh, that front incisor is missing or that canine's missing, etc, etc. So that kind of helps you identify otters. So now I've got a catalogue of otter photographs and I can identify more than 20 individuals. This is one of the mothers. There's two mothers here. This one with one cub and that one with two cubs. And yeah, it's really amazing. Occasionally they meet up, all five of them playing together, and then one of the mothers just takes off, has a break, and the other mother takes care of all the cubs. And so over the last few years I've learned so much about otters because I've had that camera, and I'm still learning, and there's still so much to learn. It's great, it's exciting, I love it. I've always had a very close connection to nature, and I think it's super valuable for me and other people that I know to have that, to experience it in any small way that they can. But even just little encounters here and there can be wonderful memories, and hopefully that's what I'm doing now, taking people out, and they come here to Mull and I help them make that dream come true. It's a wonderful job. I'm super happy with my life. I've had an incredibly lucky life. I've travelled all over the world, had some amazing adventures, made the most amazing friends, met the most amazing lady, and had wonderful children. I think people are just born with certain passions or abilities within them. Some people are born musicians, some people are born pop stars. I think I was just always born as a nature guy. I always loved nature. It was always going to be what I did. Yeah.